Hello, welcome to the channel today. Today we're going to be replacing an alternator on this 1997 Chevrolet S-10. It's two-wheel drive. I don't know if that makes a difference, and it has the 2.2 liter four-cylinder engine in it. I'll take you around here and show you why I think the alternator is going bad. I was driving home today and my battery light is on, as you can see there, and my volt gauge is only showing about between 9 and 14, and it's usually up between up above 14 volts. So I did make it home. Vehicle has 129,000 miles on it. I did make it home today, but the volt gauge didn't drop much, but I know that the alternator is not charging. The battery in this vehicle is only about a year old. November of 2017, and it's now May, so I know that's not the issue. The alternator is right down in there, so it's fairly easy to get to. We have a bolt on top, and there's also a bolt down by where the belt's at down in there. So I'm going to move you here up onto my, you know what, I'll just hold you here, I think, as I put you on my headband, but we'll hold you here. So the tools needed for the job: I have my ratcheting box wrenches here, some gloves that I'm going to stick on before I get started. I have my battery cable, 5/16 to undo the positive on the battery cable, which is going to be the first thing I do. I have my box wrench set there. Have the serpentine belt tool to help me out there. I actually borrowed that from AutoZone. They do a tool rental program where you can borrow that, pay whatever it costs first, and then bring it back when you're done. And then I have the remanufactured Duralast alternator, part number DL1621-6-8. It also has the number 815-7608 on it. So that is a remanufactured alternator. Pardon the planes if you hear those over top. I'm going to go ahead here first by disconnecting the positive cable on the battery. So I got my handy dandy side terminal battery wrench here. We'll loosen that up and undo that. Now, usually you could tuck this somewhere. I'd usually tuck it over this way, but since I'm going to be actually working down in there, I'm going to take this microfiber, wrap it around it a few times, and I'm going to actually slide it this way instead. So that'll keep it from contacting anything. I know it's disconnected. My light went off from underneath the hood. So I'm going to go ahead and get my gloves on here. I like to wear these gloves while I'm working on the vehicles, not because I'm a wuss, but sometimes if you catch yourself with these gloves on, you won't cut yourself, whereas if the gloves weren't on, you would cut yourself. So it is nice to do that. And we'll start by taking the belt off. Now, this is a one-piece serpentine belt. You guys can see down there, I hope it's somewhat visible. Down here is where that belt tool needs to go to take the pressure off the tensioner. I'm going to point to it again. It's right down in here. So I'm going to place you right here, and I'm going to put the tool together here. Flip this down into okay, this actually looks like it is the smaller end. So I was trying to use the extension piece, which is a 3/8. It's actually, that's a 1/2 inch. This is actually a 3/8 drive. So let's put this in here. Just the right position on here. Seems like I might have to go over here, possibly. Just trying to see here. It's gonna not be easy. It's gonna be right where this bracket is up top that I need to be, I think. And then I'm probably gonna have to push away. So I'm gonna try to come down here again. Let's see if I can in. I'm actually have to move, yeah. Move the camera up here. I have to go right where the camera was at to get that in there. I think I have to go. I'm trying to figure out which way I have to pry it. I think if I go that way, it actually tensions it. So I think I have to pull it the other way. So I'll grab a, I apologize, this is my first time obviously doing this, but I'll grab a flathead screwdriver here. Take this air intake loose here at the top. Okay, just loosen that up. Took that loose. Sorry to set you guys down there. I took this loose. I think now I can get the tool down in here. I think I have to pry towards the battery. Okay, this is gonna fight me. So I, again, borrowed this tool, so I think I'm gonna have to go underneath and pry it the way I need it to go, because I can't seem to get the right direction on it. Glad I borrowed this tool instead of buying it, because if I bought one, I'd buy one that has an adjustable end on it. I'm gonna go to plan B here, actually. Plan B is to use an actual 3/8 swivel ratchet. I think that might, this isn't too far down, so I think since I can rotate that around, I can get it to where I need it. Yes. Do you see that? The belt is coming loose now. I'm gonna slip it off from the alternator. I'm going to try to just keep it on everything else because I don't really feel like rerouting it. So, and it does recommend a belt replacement when you do the alternator, or at least look at the condition of your belt. Now, fortunately, I actually do have a belt coming. The belt seems to have wanted to slip off of everything. I do have a belt coming tomorrow that I was just planning on replacing it anyways as a maintenance item, so don't have it currently. But okay, so we now have the belt off. You can see the belt is off of our alternator. We have two connections on the back. We have a plug, and further back we have the positive battery connection. So I'm gonna reach down here. There's usually a rubber boot over the positive battery connection, and then I'm gonna feeling the way that the plug is connected, and it feels like it's a clip at the top. Now I'm gonna take a look at the new alternator just to see how that clips in there, and it is exactly what I thought. There's a clip here that pulls up towards you and releases that, and then you can see our positive battery connection. So I'm gonna go ahead, just take these off and set them aside for now, because I'll have to use those on this new one. Okay. And I also already did this, but I'll show you guys. I looked at the new one to see how many bolts we have to hold it. And so down here we don't have any. You see we have one here and we have one up here. So there's only 2 bolts that hold this alternator in, both of which we can see here. So first one is this top one, and I'm gonna let's try to get this stuff disconnected here in the back first. So I'm gonna reach in here, and I'm probably gonna need a small screwdriver to get this connection apart. I'm gonna set you guys back here again. Just trying to get you positioned so you can see what you need to see here. Okay. I'm going to get a very small screwdriver. I already had that one out I brought out earlier. I'm going to see if I can pry that connection loose. Okay, that connection came apart there. It was just held on by a little clip. I'm going to push that down a little bit. Going to look at the new one to see what size that bolt might be. So I'm gonna grab the new bolt, just assuming that it's probably gonna be the same size. And I guessed right the first time. How often does that happen? It's a 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna use my 1/2 inch ratcheting box wrench. At least that's the size of the new one. So let's see if this one happens to be the same size as well. And got it on the wrong way. Yep. 1/2 inch bolt to hold the positive battery cable on. I love my ratcheting box wrenches. Actually, they're cheap ones. I got them at Harbor Freight, but I've had people use them that actually own more expensive ones from either Snap-on or Craftsman, and they prefer mine because the Harbor Freight ones have a very small click, so you get more. You can be in a tighter area and get more movement. Okay, so I got my positive battery cable off. You can see that here. Got my positive battery cable off. I'm gonna set that right aside. There wasn't a washer that I could feel unless I dropped it. I'm gonna use the new washer when I install the new one. I'm gonna see if this is also a 1/2 inch bolt. Nope, it is bigger. Maybe 5/8. This one I may not be able to use my ratcheting box wrench on. It's smaller than 5/8. It might be 9/16. Okay, I don't think my ratcheting end is gonna fit on there. So let me. I think it's gonna be 9/16 this bolt that goes from the cab of the truck to the front. No, it seems bigger than that. I'm gonna try 5/8. Okay, that feels loose, so it might be metric. Okay, trying a 15 millimeter. 15 seems to be correct. Now, I don't think I need a deep well. I tried it with that, but I don't think I need it. Okay, I'm getting out my swivel-headed ratchet again. Get this on here. Not a whole lot of room to ratchet down here, but we'll make do what we can. Ratchet towards you guys. I think I got a little more room there. This bolt seems pretty loose. Probably just need to loosen it a little bit more. And then I can probably do it by hand. And this bracket doesn't look like it has any sort of adjustment in it. Some alternators on some vehicles are on brackets that have some adjustment to them. So you have to try to make sure you get it close to where it was when you started. That way everything will line up properly. You'll have enough belt. You'll have enough belt, but not too much.